So this may not look like anything more than a shiny door with a bunch of Gorilla Tape on it, but something caused this door to crack and chunks of glass were falling out. We walked up to the door. There's some of the glass that fell out from some spots here, some spots here, some spots here, up there. You can actually see the glass kind of bowing a little bit, but the entire piece of glass is completely shattered, and I'm trying to hold it in place. Don't exactly know how it happened, to be honest with you. I came out here and was actually going to do a follow-up on a product inside, and I noticed first little pieces of glass, and then second that the entire thing was shattered, and it's just barely holding in place right now. Probably shouldn't even do that. But for those of you who want to know what it's like to remove an RV door and replace it with a new RV door, this is going to be your opportunity. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so we got Paul in the shop today. He's going to be helping us through this process. I kind of feel like the Ibex doesn't need a black glass door, right? Like they could have just put a black door with the normal window in it, and it would have created the same contrast effect. It still would have looked just as nice, because it kind of scares me. Even though it's a high quality door, it's glass, and on a moving object that's always defined as a tornado, hurricane, and earthquake at the same time. What's the first thing that breaks during an earthquake? Glass, your windows, right? So yeah, they probably could just do a black door and not put a glass door. I didn't even think about it until, you know, it broke. On the previous RV, the Surveyor, it also had a black glass door, and this has two black glass doors. And if this door fails or breaks or whatever, we're gonna put a standard black door in there and not have to do it. But yeah, this door is about $1,000. So wow, not cheap, but I could probably say any glass door you get for just about any application is probably gonna start around $1,000. I was actually surprised that Forest River offers this door so much less expensive than anybody else for the same part number, same door. So that's really cool. We're gonna get this thing unboxed to show you what it looks like. The process is gonna be pretty intense. All right, so Paul is posing next to the door right now. How difficult was it to unpack?
It was a little tricky because the way the spray foam is, but I'm glad they put it in a sheet of plastic because it made it a lot easier to get out.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned off camera was the fact that if this had not been a glass door, if it were like a fiberglass door, it probably wouldn't have required that level of packaging, right?
Right, that's just more for the landfill.
Yep. So this is what it looks like. It comes with the door latch here. I think the key's probably zip tied to it somewhere, but I'm not too worried about that, honestly, because we'll be removing that.
We'll find it. I think it's taped to the back here.
Okay. And this is essentially, I guess, how the factory also gets it, right? They have to tear into them, get them unpackaged. And again, leave a comment below. I want to know, do you think that the glass is a value add? Like when you walk by an RV and you see a glass door, this whole thing is a glass door, that it's a value add, or would you prefer just a fiberglass black door with the normal window that you kind of see right here? Because the difference here when you use this, first of all, it's much shinier, much more prone to fingerprints too. You don't see the window right here either. You can see through it, through the window. The glass is clear right here where the window is. But I think that's probably what they were going for, was more of that just solid glass look versus having a window right here on a black door. Okay, so it is actually the following morning. We have the Ibex partially in the shop, mainly because the sun is hitting us hard on that side. So I turned the RV around. I can't fit it entirely in the shop, even if I wanted to, only because the length of it puts it just right outside of the scope. I'd love to just close it off and have the AC running in here and be able to put it in, but yeah, that's not going to work. That said, though, we are going to kick this thing off. First thing we have to do is to remove the steps. So we got to flip the steps up, unscrew them. Once we get the steps removed, we can start working on the trim on the door and start getting everything off the door that we need to get off. We'll also need to transfer all this stuff over to the new door, because it's not going to have this, or the thin shade on the window there. So, and then door lock as well. That'll have to go over. But we can do all of that once the new door is installed. So none of this stuff has to go on before we put the door in. It's actually a lot easier if we do it after the new door is installed. So first things first, let's flip these steps up, start unscrewing them. Okay, so what we're gonna do here first is see if this works. If we unscrew these hinges right here, if that door comes off, then we don't even need to remove the screen door. Because honestly, I should be able to close the screen door and have access to this. And if we can simply unscrew those and the whole door assembly comes off, then we're in good shape. We don't actually have to remove the whole threshold. And boy, that'll make the job about 140% easier.
So hopefully that works.
Yep.
So we had an idea to support this door, just in case this idea actually works. We went ahead and grabbed the cart so we could just put right under for support, almost like a jack under a vehicle. There we go. That should be good. Just in case it comes down. I hope this works.
Likewise. And now you have a table to put the hardware on.
Oh, excellent. Power tools are great.
They are.
I keep forgetting how great they are. I feel like this is going to work.
Sometimes we forget how great thou are a lot, don't we?
Yes, we do. Little Easter egg there, huh?
Yep. This should give us an idea right here now if the door rocks independent of that hinge.
Oh, this is looking great. I need a step stool though.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Here we go. This is it. This is our answer. Okay. You know what, Milwaukee? They should put a magnet on the base of this. That way, in case that happens, it'll catch it.
It feels separated.
Would you look at that, huh?
Wow.
We both learned something new.
This makes the process tremendously quicker.
Overall, not too heavy. I just got to be real careful with this.
Check this out. So the door is now off.
We don't even have to mess with butyl tape.
Nothing. I mean, because normally you'd have to scrape all of this junk off the back, and it is butyl tape. I can feel it back there. But now all we have to do is get the new door. Hopefully everything lines up perfectly. I would imagine that all this stuff is machined in place and they do it on a jig. So that would be the only caveat, is if we have to drill new holes because this thing is slightly off. But
I think that deserves a fist bump.
Definitely, brother. All right, let's grab the new door. Okay, so we got both doors side by side now. We will remove the screen door. You can see this is the entire aluminum channel that goes around that the butyl tape would normally set in. They've designed it right with the ridges right here because that creates individual sealing points whenever you do have the butyl. But all we're gonna need to do is to remove the screws that hold this entire assembly to the door itself, or vice versa. And then we'll take all the hardware off of this door and move it over to that door. But we'll have a backup screen just in case. So yeah, this job is significantly easier than I thought. Hopefully, when we're all done, I'll follow up with that comment.
All right. All right, so we're about to put this up on the support table and see if this puppy lines up.
Yep, I'm gonna grab the new screws because they're new. Man, good idea on having this this hydraulic cart out here.
And the step stool makes things nice too.
Maybe we put one in on each hinge first to get the weight bearing.
Yeah.
And then we can get to the point to where we can check the fitment of the door, whether it closes.
A little bit more, but right there's fine.
Okay.
Let's see if I can't start one. Could you drop it like maybe a millimeter? I know that's specific.
You just tell me when to stop.
That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna drop this down even more because we're gonna need to bring the bottom in a little bit.
Can do.
All right, so obviously something isn't gonna work out the way we wanted it to. The screws are not aligning. The whole door's sitting too low.
Yeah.
So I don't even mind if we have to do it this way still, but we lift the door up a little bit and try to align it. My fear, you know what, if we take the door off, we lay it flat, we put this door on top of it, do you think we'll be close enough, or do you think we're gonna run the risk that we're gonna be off slightly and the door just won't close properly in the opening?
It could run a risk. I mean, because right now, obviously, there might be slight deviations that it might not be 100%. So I would say in this case, might have to put it back in its frame that it came in and do it the hard way.
Let's do it.
All right. So what we decided to do off camera was give it another go, because it's much easier to drill a few new holes than it is to replace this entire threshold. So we discovered that the bottom hinges and the top hinges line up, and with those two hinges, that's the main supports, and the door closes flawlessly.
Yep. These right here aren't going to line up perfectly, but they all will be able to drill new holes, which are nice. And these are not really as load bearing as the bottom ones and the top ones. These are more for support, and they will all have new holes. They'll just kind of be spaced right here, and right here on each one. But man, it's going to make the whole process a lot easier. We already have the top and the bottom hinge kind of in place. Check that out. It's locked.
Nice fit. All right.
There we go. That is cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the rest of these drilled in. We'll tighten the top ones in place, and then, man, this should be a bit of an easier job than we originally thought.
Looks like a major win.
Yep. So I have to say, I am probably one of the first people that gets overly stressed out when an idea doesn't work. But then when all of a sudden you recover from that idea and you're like, you know what, let's give it a try. Boy, this worked perfectly. So everything is screwed in. These lined up perfect. So these holes, possibly in a jig at the factory, lined up perfect. These I had to drill all new holes. Up here, 2 of the screws lined up perfect in the bottom holes that were there already. And the other, I guess the other 4 total had to be re-drilled. But the seal is what's protecting that. So even if there's a hole in the door, it really doesn't matter. The screen door fits on perfect. And as we close it, watch, look at this. 2 fingers.
Beautiful form and function.
And we didn't have to peel all of this butyl tape off. We didn't have to do any of that. And this door is a little different. This one is prepped for the standard or keyless extend latch. That's pretty cool because the latch that goes up, and this door has it when the other door didn't. So Paul, what do you think?
Really? You couldn't wipe that off, JD?
Okay, so a modification that I had to make is I had to grind this little leg down because it wouldn't fit through the glass door opening very comfortably. It was right on the edge, and of course the last thing you want to do is put a lot of pressure against the edge of a piece of glass, especially tempered glass. It would have shattered the whole thing. So I had to grind that down a little bit just so I could feed it through, but that shouldn't be any problem at all. I need to just kind of reshape the inside there so I can get the screws in place. But we're coming right along. Okay, so we are nearly complete. All we need to do is put the stairs back in place, but I wanted to go over all of that before we did that. I had to adjust this catch for the screen door up slightly, not very much, as you can see the old impression and the new one. The lock went in place no problem at all, so that is working perfectly. That didn't even need to be changed at all. I just put the screw right in and it caught perfectly. It closes perfect, opens perfect. Man, this job became about 90% easier because we were simply able to line up some of the screw holes and get it to fit into the existing threshold without having to make any serious modification. If you're wondering what that is, that's just where I had to seal all that up from when we had the original handle. We replaced it with this much larger extended handle, but it's the same screen door. So there's the new screen door, and this one, again, it's kind of riveted into the frame, so we didn't have to worry about that at all. It basically stayed in place the whole time. We just had to close it. But check that out. That is absolutely amazing. We already have the thin shade in place. This stuff goes up so easily, so quickly. I've made a lot of videos since we've installed that on everything. We have the screen assist, which you use to open up the door. This screen shot, which pulls the door shut, so when you do that, it closes and latches. I made a full video also showing you how to properly adjust your door so it works the right way. A lot of people don't realize how this door is actually supposed to work, that when you close the main door like this, it's supposed to take the screen with it when you open it. And a lot of times it gets stuck down here. And again, there's little adjustments you can make to make sure that's happening. And then the screen defender's in place. We didn't have to make any adjustments there either. So really came along well. And again, all we have to do at this point is just mount the steps right here. We have the mounting hardware in place, and then we will be finished. And I don't think we need to make any additional content putting the steps in place, but definitely wanted to show you what this is all about. Very cool. Definitely a 2-person job. I wouldn't try to tackle this alone. So having Paul out here as a shop assistant is a true blessing. And he is just providing so much assistance that I need. The cart was his idea. He's like, hey, let's go grab that hydraulic lift table so we can get the door positioned in place. That was perfect. And at its max height, it was just high enough to put the support underneath the door to give us the ability to secure it the right way without having to hold it and shimmy it the entire time. Still had to do a little bit of that. This is the old hardware or I guess the new hardware, with the new locks right here. These are the old screws that secured the door in place. And as you can see, that is completely broken. And it was falling apart. So if this breaks, I really don't know what's behind the door. I'm guessing it's just foam. Maybe that's something we can explore here as well. Okay, so we are completely finished. And again, a lot of people probably want to know what would happen if we were on the road, the glass shattered and all fell out. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so as you can see, there is a window. So again, this whole thing is actually cracked. So if this had been hit by a rock or something while we were camping and we had to drive home with this, again, I used Gorilla Tape to kind of hold it in place. And what I'm going to do real quick is just kind of tap from the inside out. We are both wearing protective eyewear. The tape's doing a pretty good job of holding some of it together. Now, what's kind of interesting here is that only the window portion is actually freely coming out. None of the glass that's on this part is coming out. It's cracking, but it's actually holding in place, which makes me believe they're using an adhesive on this portion. So you can actually just cover the window because the rest of it's not really going to fall out. Look at that.
Not too shabby.
No, that's pretty good. And that's just gonna, again, help kind of hold things together if you're going down the road. So that actually makes me feel really good. On the other side of this is foam. So you can actually see that right here. It's styrofoam in between. So even if most of the glass were to fall off, it seems like you'd still have the foam core. But again, it appears as if they used an adhesive on the other side of the glass because all of this is holding together. None of that's actually coming out. The only part that came out is the window itself. So that would be pretty easy to put like a temporary, piece of wood over or some visqueen or something to kind of protect it. But that actually makes me feel really good. I was worried that, if this were to happen while we were traveling, what ultimately would happen? Would the whole thing fall out? Would it collapse? And pretty comfortable. How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel like someone's going to have to clean all this glass up now. So thank God for job security.
Yeah, I'm going to lunch. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. Big shout out to Paul for helping me out here, making this project a lot easier than it would have been. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.